Hello everyone and welcome to the Tata Steel Recaps. Today we are going to take a look at the results and standings of round 11 and the pairings for round 12. But first let's take a look at an interesting game played in round 11. This game was played between Praggnanandhaa and Maghsoodloo. White opens with e4 and the game is a Sicilian knight off. Here we get the knight off with the move a6. If you play g6 it's the dragon. But here black plays a6 and this is the knight off. White plays h3, which is the fourth popular move in the database. Black plays e5, white goes knight to f3, queen to c7, and with this move knight to h2, it's a unique move and it's not in the database. White surely has some serious preparation here. Knight bd7, black just continues developing, knight to g4 offering a trade of knights. Black just plays b5 and tries to play on the queen side. Knight to e3, threatening knight to d5. If black plays b4, white will have a nice square for his knight and this is advantageous. So black defends this threat and now white has to defend b4. Black continues developing his pieces and both sides develop their pieces, as this is the main motto of the game, to develop your pieces and attack. White plays queen to f3, threatening knight to f5, and black immediately stops the threat. Castles, knight fd7, potentially trying to play knight c5, attack the bishop and also play f5 maybe in the future. Bishop d2, knight c5, bishop e2, castles, and here black is threatening f5. Here white plays knight to f5 to stop this threat, which is not a very good move because your knight is threatening to go on d5, but now it goes on f5, so it's not doing the right job here. Here black took with the bishop. If you take with the pawn here, white will take with the pawn, and if you move your bishop, then white will play f6 and threaten this mate. So it's not going to be a good position for black. So he takes the knight with the bishop, and after the pawn takes, he doesn't take the pawn and he keeps his structure solid. So black plays d5 and now is looking forward to playing the center. Bishop h6, rook fd8, rook a d1, e4, queen g4. White is playing on the queen side and black is moving towards the center and towards the queen side. Knight c to a4, offering a trade of this knight so that black can target the pawns. Knight takes a4, knight takes a4, f into g6, h into g6, and f4. Here this is a mistake because black is threatening to take one of these pawns. Here you could have saved one of these pawns, and if here black takes the c2 pawn, you play rook fc1, and after queen b3, now you can play h4 and attack because this queen is no longer in the game. It is trapped here. Although no piece can attack it, it cannot move and it's out of the game, and white will attack and have an advantage on this game. But in the game, white immediately went for the attack, and here black plays queen to b6, king h1, f5, consolidates his position, queen to g3, now takes the pawn, and this is advantageous for black. Here white does another mistake because here black has threatened to take your bishop, and this bishop is a main attacker of the king. So you must preserve this bishop and then maybe try to take this knight. But here he immediately takes the knight, and black doesn't take this bishop because this bishop is not that good. He takes the h6 bishop because now if this bishop just moves back, let's say, then black's all pawns are on the light squares and restricts this bishop's mobility, so it cannot move, and black's bishop clearly has an advantage on the squares. Rook a to c8 was played in the game, a into b5, a into b5, and black clearly has a plan of pushing his pawns towards the center and promoting. Meanwhile, white just randomly moving his pieces. Black's all moves are based on promoting the pawn. Here he pushes his pawn to d3 and white tries a trick of deflecting this queen and trying to take his bishop. In the game, black could play queen into g3 and allow him to take this bishop because your pawn is too far advanced to promote here. So you could play d2 maybe here and try to promote. But in the game, black played this move d into c2, and if you take the queen, black will promote into a queen, or maybe even play rook into d1 first and promote into a queen. So white decides to take rook into d8. After bishop into d8, he takes the queen, but black can play c1 queen. After the queens get traded, it's an opposite color bishop ending, but black has the passed pawns and white's pawns are clearly misplaced. So black keeps trying to promote his pawn. Meanwhile, white just trying to capture black's pawns. And here white even threatens to take the g6 pawn, but it's too slow. Black is clearly promoting his pawn, even though it's a check, and he comes back. Black plays e2. Bishop b5, trying to sacrifice the bishop to take the pawn. But here black finishes the game off with this brilliant move, rook to h2. The idea is, if white plays king into h2, black will play bishop into g1, king into g1, and promote into a queen and win the game. And at this move, Praggnanandhaa resigned and Maghsoodloo won the game. So a very beautiful game played by Maghsoodloo to win the game. And in fact, he is the only winner of round 11. The other 6 games ended in draws. He was pretty down on the standings, so it didn't make much of a difference in the standings today. Nodirbek Abdusattorov still leads with half a point. Behind him is Anish Giri with 7 points. Then is Magnus, Carlsen and Wesley with 6.5 points. Levon, Aronian and Fabiano Caruana with 6 points. Rapport with 5.5 points. Praggnanandhaa, Liren and Maghsoodlo with 5 points. Gukesh and Jorden Foreest with 4.5 points. And Arjun, Erigaisi and Vincent Keymer with 4 points. Here are the pairings for tomorrow, round 12. Wesley will face Nodirbek Abdusattorov. Jorden Foreest will face Anish Giri. Magnus, Carlsen will play against Praggnanandhaa. Fabiano Caruana will take on Vincent Keymer. Gukesh will face Levon Aronian. Maghsoodlo will play against Arjun, Erigaisi and Rapport will face Liren. So we'll see what surprises are there tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to this channel to get more of the updates on this tournament. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon in my next video.